What is the earliest age for rhinoplasty? So it's a bit controversial, but you want to make sure that your face has completed growing before you have a rhinoplasty. There are things that would cause someone to need a rhinoplasty when they're younger, if they have very significant nasal obstruction, if that is impacting their life in various ways. You can consider it at earlier ages. But for most people, the earliest age would be whenever we have something concrete to show that your growing has kind of topped out or stopped. And for women and girls, we look at your age of, have you started your period? If you've had your period for at least a year, you're probably pretty close to as tall as you're going to get. Your face has grown to the size and shape that it's going to be. For guys, we say, when was the last time you bought a larger size shoe? If you've been around the same shoe size for about a year, then it's probably okay time to go ahead and consider having a rhinoplasty. The earliest that I have personally done a rhinoplasty on is 14, and that's probably the youngest that I would actually do. Will my nose keep growing after a rhinoplasty? So the nose continues to change. The nose changes as we age. The ligaments between the cartilages become looser, and so with time, meaning over many, many years, your nose appears larger, appears to droop or the tip go down. And this does continue to happen after you have a rhinoplasty with aging. But in the context of being a young person, if you're very young and you have a rhinoplasty, will your nose continue to grow? And that is a gray area. We are concerned that maybe it will not if you do certain procedures that may interrupt growth plates. So that's why we wait until we feel like your nose and your face has grown to about what it's going to be before having a rhinoplasty. Can I get a rhinoplasty at age 12? 12 is a really young age for rhinoplasty. That is a little bit younger than what I'm comfortable doing. Most of the time, I will wait until at least a year after a girl's had her period or a year after guys have bought their largest shoe size and be at least about 14. There's a lot that goes into rhinoplasty. There's recovery. There's just a lot emotionally and mentally processed with rhinoplasty as well, because you're changing the way you look. And with younger people, it is absolutely critical that your family is involved and that they're supportive. They come with you. They do have to sign consent and make sure that everyone's on the same page and they're consenting to the procedure as well. But from my perspective, it's also super important they agree this is something that is good for you. You think this is good for you, and we all agree that this is what we want to do moving forward. So having that family support is really, really critical. Can I get a rhinoplasty at age 16? Usually, yes. 16 is usually an age that it's not an issue to have a rhinoplasty from a surgical perspective. Most people have finished growing. There are some guys that may continue to grow between 16 and about 18. We'll talk about what their growth has been prior to that point. Are their feet continuing to grow, or they're buying bigger shoe size, or do we feel like we've been at the same height for a while before we make that decision? Most girls around 16, they've finished growing, especially in the face, and so you can have surgery. You do have to have your parents there at the consultation, at the preoperative appointment. They do have to give consent and be there and be supportive that this is a good, positive decision for the person that is 16. What is a good age to get a nose job? Usually transition times are a good time for nose job or rhinoplasty. So I'll see a lot of people between high school and college, or between college and getting a job, because you're changing where you live, you're changing your friend group, you can have a change to your appearance and people don't really notice. Also, there's a lot less going on in between those transition periods. So you're not in sports, you don't have social activities, so you can have that downtime, you can take the time that you need to recover and then go into the next part of your life, feeling good and feeling confident. Have questions? I help people like you every day. Schedule a consultation at drangela.sturm.com. Thanks for watching.